side. Murphy shooting, save a rebound on the view.
Hey guys, it is Red Rubber Duckwind, and welcome to day 6 of their 2023 March Madness charity drive for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. The link to the charities in the description below. Please feel free to check that out. So today we got 3 conference tournaments that kicked off, and then you've got one tournament that just had its bracket released, and that is the Southland Conference. So, but the Big South, Northeast, and Ohio Valley tournaments both all kicked off tonight. And so, let's get started right now with the Big South tournament. So we have the Charleston Southern Buccaneers beating the High Point Panthers by a score of 72-70. Now, the Panthers led by 13 at one point, but thanks to 20 points from Claudel Harris Jr., the Buccaneers completed the comeback. And despite Jaden House scoring 25 points for the Panthers, they were unable to hold on and save the season. And Charleston Southern, for the second year in a row, pulls off another upset. And the Buccaneers will go up against the top-seeded UNC Asheville Bulldogs. The next matchup was Campbell defeating Presbyterian by a score of 68-63. 4 Fighting Camels ended up in double figures, and all 4 of them were starters. They were led by Jay Powell with 19 points. Now, Crosby James had 15 points off the bench for the Blue Hose, and then the largest lead was 9, so it was a very close game throughout, but the Camels did just enough, and they will be taking on the defending champions, Longwood. Next up, you got the Northeast Conference Tournament, and the top-seeded Merrimack Warriors defeated the LIU Sharks 91-76, and the Warriors were led by Ziggy Reed with 33 points, and then Javon Bennett got second place on Merrimack with 26 points. They led nearly the whole game, and the Sharks just couldn't get it together. And it didn't help that Long Island only shot 9% from 3, and the Warriors shot 58% from 3. Is this Merrimack or Golden State? Whatever. The Warriors will host Sacred Heart, who would defeat the Wagner Seahawks 67-55. Excuse me. Pardon me. Now, the Pioneers were led by Tanner Thomas and Nico Gillette with 14 points each. The first half featured low scoring with only 45 points combined between the two teams, and Sacred Heart led since halftime, even though the Seahawks came close to taking the lead at one point. And the Pioneers will travel to face Merrimack. And number 2, Fairleigh Dickinson, they defeated St. Francis Brooklyn by a final score of 83-75. The Knights had all 5 of their starters in double figures, with Ansley Almanor and Sean Moore leading the way with 18 points each. And the Knights had the lead the whole time. And St. Francis Brooklyn, they had one of the longest waits for an NCAA tournament appearance, and that is going to continue. The Knights will host St. Francis, PA, and they beat Central Connecticut by a score of 83-69. The Red Flash were led by Josh Cohen with 25 points and Maxwell Land with 23. It was back and forth to start the game, but with 4 minutes to go in the first half, the Red Flash heated up, and they never looked back. And the Red Flash will go up against the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson. We now go to the Ohio Valley, and that is where the gauntlets start to take place. Southeast Missouri State defeated Lindenwood 84-65. Now, 5 Redhawks finished in double figures. 2 of them were on the bench. And the Redhawks were led by Philip Russell with 19 points. And the Lions led at first, and then it became a back and forth affair between the Red Hawks and the Lions. And then SEMO took the lead for good, and they will take on Tennessee State tomorrow. And then you got the SIU Edwardsville Cougars beating the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles 68-54. DeMarco Minor led Suey with 27 points, and the Screaming Eagles led at the half by 1, but the second half was all Cougars throughout the whole entire second half. And both teams went cold for parts of the game, but SIUE was hotter when it mattered the most. And the Cougars will go up against Reckoning University, aka Tennessee Martin. Reckoning, my broadcasting partner from the Sports Disaster. And now we finally get to our bracket preview. There's only one regular season that ended, and that was the Southland Conference. And they do a gauntlet style for their tournament. Now, the number 5 seed will be Texas A&M Commerce. Now, this is their first year in Division 1, and they last made the Division 2 tournament last year. And so they're looking for a taste. Actually, they won't be looking for a taste. They're not eligible. But they'll be looking to play spoiler. And they'll be going up against McNeese. And they haven't made it to the tournament since 2002. And that game will tip off at 5 o'clock Central Time on March 5th. And the winner of that game will go up against Nichols, who are looking to make it to the tournament for the first time since 1998. And that game will tip off on Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time. And the winner of that one will go up against the top seed and defending champions, Texas A&M Corpus Christi Islanders. That game will tip off at 5:30 Central Time. We now go to the lower gauntlet. And Houston Christian, the Huskies, looking to go to the tournament for the first time since 1984. And they will go up against the New Orleans Privateers, who haven't made it since 2017. The game will tip off at 7:30 Central on Sunday, March 5th. And the winner of that game will go up against Southeastern Louisiana. The Lions looking to go back for the first time since 2005. And that game will tip off on Monday at 7:30. Where that game will go up against Northwestern State. The Demons looking to go back for the first time in 10 years, 2013. And that game will tip off at 8 o'clock Central Time. And the winners of both gauntlets will go into the championship game on Wednesday, March 8th, tip off at 4 o'clock Central Time. So that's going to do it for day 6 of the March Madness Charity Drive. Another short video, but with these conference tournaments going by so fast, it's very hard to keep this above 10 minutes because it's so fast paced, and that's all you would want, some fast paced action throughout the NCAA conference tournaments and the main tournament. So that's going to do it. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And there's going to be plenty more tournaments where that came from coming soon. But once again, I'm Red Rubber Duckling. Until we meet again, I'll see you guys next time.